An unnamed man meets an unfortunate demise due to a vending machine mishap, but awakens in a completely different world, reborn as a sentient vending machine. To his astonishment, he discovers an array of options that offer him the chance to upgrade himself. However, there's a catch. To maintain his power supply, he must expend points, and without customers, he faces losing power in just 1 month. Reincarnated, but with a deadline, and that's gotta be stressful. His newfound existence is unexpectedly assailed by frog-like monsters. Miraculously, a divine blessing from God conjures a protective barrier. Baffled and relieved, he manages to deter the monsters, who eventually grow bored and leave. He crosses paths with Lammis, a desperate human hunter on the brink of starvation. The vending machine, with a clever method of communication, utilizes its stock phrases to convey alternative meanings. He provides her with nourishment and hydration. It turns out that Lammis possesses a divine blessing of strength, allowing her to carry the vending machine companion along. She reveals that they're in a dungeon on a secure level, where a thriving adventurer village has taken root. Along the way, Lammis rescues a girl from a group of thugs. Intending to introduce the unusual vending machine to her friend, Lammis, on the surface, they face the obstacle of lacking funds for the teleportation circle. To overcome this hurdle, Lammis steers to an inn, where her friend Munami is employed. As the new vending machine becomes a sensation among adventurers amassing a wealth of points, he seizes the opportunity to upgrade his items. Lammis obtains a special frame designed for carrying him on her back. She dubs him Boxo. Director Bear, an actual bear, holds the position of Director of the Hunters Association. His latest request is directed at Lammis. He asks her to bring Boxo, the sentient vending machine, along as a source of food support for a grand expedition aimed at eradicating the frog fiends, the very creatures that had previously assaulted our poor dear Boxo. Cariol, the leader of the Menagerie of Fools party, has taken a keen interest in Boxo. Meanwhile, Philmina, Cariol's second-in-command, examines Boxo but fails to find any detectable magical essence within him. Amid this, Lammis forms a friendship with Shui, a dedicated huntress. Boxo decides that joining the battle to safeguard Lammis is the best course of action. The ensuing conflict against the frog fiends reveals an unexpected advantage. The counterbalance Boxo provides on Lammis's back significantly mitigates her struggles with controlling her immense strength. Following the fierce engagement, Boxo distributed complimentary sports drinks to the injured and exhausted, because nothing heals injuries better than some Gatorade. The underlying concern remains, as Director Bear firmly believes that the King Frog fiend lurks nearby. He leads the remaining hunters to track down this foe. Under the cover of night, a hunter attempts to break open Boxo in an attempt to steal his items. Boxo retaliates with a scalding stream of soup, scorching the would-be thief, who is subsequently punished by Lammis for his robbery attempt. The King Frog fiend, try saying that 20 times fast, appears, and Boxo provides cola and a stash of mint. The combination of these items is used to blind the King Frog fiend, buying time for the hunters to return and slay said fiend. With the hunt concluded, the hunters make their way on back to the village. The party returns to their once peaceful village, only to be met with the sight of its devastation, courtesy of a menacing two-headed snake. However, the citizens band together, killing the monster and starting the rebuilding process. Cariol extends an invitation to Lammis and Boxo to join the party. Lammis responds with a refusal. Bakawi, representing the Merchants Exchange, reveals that the village is facing a shortage of silver coins, which are stored within Boxo. The proposed solution is to retrieve those coins from Boxo by offering gold in exchange. Boxo lacks the ability to direct exchanges. However, Lammis comes up with a workaround. Boxo can facilitate the process by purchasing items with gold and returning silver as change. Boxo later added a new feature, a gambling function. Does he plan on giving the adventurers a gambling addiction? Or maybe he's got a gacha game in mind. In response to a request from Director Bear, Boxo assists Shirley, the local brothel owner, by providing her with condoms to combat the spread of STDs. A wealthy young girl named Sori, whom Lammis had previously saved, attempts to vandalize Boxo. Boxo stops her with compassion and understands that she misses her father. Subsequently, Boxo starts selling soap at the public baths. Director Bear calls upon Boxo's unique skills once more, asking him to use camouflage to apprehend criminals in the act. During one of these operations, Boxo overhears Sori's attempt to purchase him from Lammis. Lammis refuses, and Boxo reveals himself, overwhelmed by emotion. Up next, Boxo falls victim to a group of audacious thieves led by the notorious Gargoyle, who once sought to pry him open to steal his items. They escort him to their secret lair, where they've also abducted a magical item engineer. The engineer happens to be Lammis's buddy, Lammis. A bond forms between Boxo and Lammis, solidifying their friendship. With her extensive expertise, Lammis deduces that Boxo houses a human soul. As tensions escalate, the thieves attempt to harm Lammis. Boxo comes up with a strategy to repel their attacks, offering them adult magazines. He persuades them to leave. The thieves' leader, however, sets an ultimatum. Within 2 days, Lammis must break Boxo open or die. Just in time, the hidden lair is infiltrated by Lammis and the Hunters Association. The ensuing chaos triggers a series of explosions, trapping Boxo and Lammis under a pile of debris. Safely enclosed within Boxo's protective shield also provides Lammis a supply of oxygen. Doing her part, Lammis uses the thieves' gold to help sustain Boxo's shield. Ultimately, Lammis locates Boxo and reunites him with Lammis. Cariol, who had facilitated Boxo's rescue, insists that he only did so to satisfy his desire for Boxo to join the menagerie of fools and contribute to the realization of his dreams. Amidst the reunion between Lammis and Boxo, Lammis opens up about an aspect of Lammis's character. Lammis has a deep fear of losing people close to her, stemming from the tragic loss of their parents to a monster attack in the past. In the village, a gathering of prominent merchant families and their magic item engineers is held. Sori, who has insights into the rival Kanashi family's participation, asks for Lammis' help. Lammis assumes the role of Sori's engineer, while Boxo pretends to be her latest magic item. At this event, the Kanashi family presents an automaton created by their engineer. It appears obedient and efficient, but Lammis is quick to sense a disturbing truth. She deduces that this automaton is powered by a human soul under malevolent control, a practice strictly forbidden by law. When the automaton spirals into a chaotic frenzy, Lammis frees the tormented soul within. This results in the Kanashi family's disqualification. In the village, a new and unwelcome addition arrives, the branch of a restaurant named Chains. This triggers anxiety among the local restaurant owners whose businesses are threatened by this new competition. Fearing the downfall of their eateries, the restaurant owners turn to Boxo for assistance. So what's a vending machine supposed to do? He's not Gordon Ramsay. Upon investigation, Lammis and Lammis uncover that Chains serves subpar, low-quality food. Boxo steps in, providing a range of novel items that significantly enhance the restaurant's offerings. The village's chefs reverse engineer the items so that they can make them themselves. Chains plummets into bankruptcy within a mere month. Cariol extends an invitation to Boxo and Lammis for an upcoming campaign. Despite Boxo's suspicions, he ultimately agrees to accompany Lammis as she seeks opportunities to improve her abilities and skills. Boxo, by providing ingredients for home-cooked Odin, unites a shy shopkeeper and a village guard named Gorth. As spring blooms, Cariol's party sets out on an expedition to assess and address the population of crocodile fiends. Boxo equips the party with a portable toilet complete with a privacy tent, which the ladies are especially grateful for. Aiming to protect the village from the threat posed by the crocodile fiends, Cariol decides to curtail their numbers and prevent those fiends from hunting humans. Lammis informs Boxo that Director Bear told her to keep an eye out for a stratum lord, a rare monster similar to dungeon bosses. Almost immediately, the crocodile lord emerges with a threatening presence. The situation escalates rapidly. The party members retreat, leaving Boxo behind in the process. To divert the attention of the crocodile lord, Boxo dispenses fried chicken. The plan backfires, and ends in Boxo being swallowed whole by the creature. Protected within his barrier, Boxo takes the opportunity and floods the stomach of the crocodile with cleaning chemicals and gas. Using his abilities, Boxo uses the microwave function, heating a tin can until it sparks and ignites, causing an explosion inside the fiend's stomach that kills the crocodile lord. For his efforts, Boxo is rewarded with a precious coin. However, the intense release of magic from the lord's bones collapses the ground underneath. Boxo descends into an even deeper stratum. At this moment, all he can think about is the deeply distressed Lammis. Boxo's unexpected descent leads him to an entirely new stratum, a maze-like labyrinth. Defeating the Crocodile Lord granted him 1,000,000 points, offering upgrades. Deciding to take advantage of this, Boxo ascends to the rank of a level 2 vending machine. This upgraded status provides Boxo with enhancements. He unlocks a solar panel that allows him to recharge his power supply without the need to expend further points. At this rate, when he reaches level 3, he'll be a whole gosh darn Tesla. However, Boxo finds himself somewhat disappointed when he finds out that the coin he received for slaying the Crocodile Lord serves as nothing more than a medal. He stumbles upon 4 young creatures called bear cats: Suko, Pel, Short, and Makene. Through their conversation, Boxo deduces that they aim to delve deep into the labyrinthian maze in search of hidden treasures. The Bearcats remain unaware of Boxo's consciousness, deeming him nothing more than an ordinary vending machine. Their intentions are simplistic, as they think of selling Boxo to chains. They're attacked by a colossal flame skeleton, the Stratum Lord of the Maze. They manage to escape together, thanks in part to Boxo dispensing useful items, though they remain unaware of his true nature. As they near the maze's exit, they encounter Lammis and the Menagerie of Fools. The hunters are overjoyed to have located Boxo, as Lammis had been seething with anger over Kiriel's decision to abandon him. The Bearcats and the hunters unite their forces, and they soon discover the truth regarding Boxo's consciousness and his unique method of communication. Kiriel asks Boxo to help defeat the Skeletitan, one that revolves around the legend cherished by the Menagerie of Fools. This legend speaks of a path to the deepest stratum and an opportunity to fulfill one's wish if a person manages to collect 6 coins from the defeat of various stratum lords along the way. The menagerie requires 6 coins to grant their collective wish, and so far they've obtained only 3. Boxo is captivated by the notion of using the wish to transform back into a human. However, he's fearful of losing his usefulness as a vending machine. To confront the Skeletitan, I love that name by the way, they hatch a strategic name. Boxo suggests to trap the Skeletitan in a vast pit, filling it with his water and ice resources. He also adds dry ice to speed up the process, smothering the flames of the Skeletitan. Once the Skeletitan plunges into the pit, Boxo convinces Lammis to push him down into the pit as well. He intended to utilize his own weight to defeat the Lord. Boxo eventually manages to ascend from the pit with the coin obtained from defeating the Skeletitan. However, rather than choosing to keep it for himself, he chooses to sell the coin to Kiriel for a sum of 100 gold. He took the entrepreneurial route, like the ultimate vending machine capitalist should. Upon reaching the headquarters of the Hunters Association in the Maze Stratum, the group's members go their separate ways. The Menagerie of Fools set off to return to Clearflow Lake Village, while Director Bear assigns Lammis and Halimi the task of mapping the maze. In the midst of this, Michel presents himself as a confident and handsome hunter. However, once alone, Boxo learns Michel's true nature, discovering that he is actually quite nervous and lacks confidence. Well, you know what they say, fake it till you make it. Michel, despite his challenging communication skills, chooses to join their team, committing to working alongside them for an extended period of 3 weeks. In the maze, Lammis falls ill, and Boxo comes to her aid by providing essential supplies, including menstrual pads and the functionality of a clothes washing machine. This act of care unexpectedly helps Michel come out of his shell. They encounter a group of assassins dispatched to eliminate Michel for reasons shrouded in mystery connected to his past. Together with Boxo's support, they swiftly overpower the would-be attackers. Following this incident, Michel contemplates leaving the group, but Lammis suggests joining the Menagerie of Fools. They value his strength in combat and won't care about his past. Finally, they return to their village, only to discover that during Boxo's absence, Chains has been using fake vending machines to distribute subpar food. Boxo's return exposes this deception, leading to its swift closure. The restaurant owners union, in an effort to revitalize the village after its reconstruction, organizes an eating contest. However, participants such as Shui and the Bearcats, who have huge appetites, enter the competition. Fearing an impact on their profits, the union reached out to Boxo for assistance. Boxo comes up with a solution by dispensing cola, a beverage that, when consumed by contestants, fills their stomachs more quickly. The competition unfolds over multiple rounds, with Shui ultimately emerging as the victor, earning herself the prize of free access to Boxo for 24 hours. For me, that would be time for the ultimate gaming session. With Lammis carrying Boxo, Shui decides to guide them to the Origin Stratum, which is situated closest to the surface. This stratum houses an orphanage, and Shui dedicates her 24 hours to tending to the children's needs, providing them with nourishment, hygiene, clothing, and entertainment. Shui explains that the origin stratum serves to filter out individuals who may not possess the strength or abilities required to survive in the lower strata. It became a refuge for those who have faced the dangers of these stratums, including children who have lost their parents during these tests. During the night, the orphanage becomes the target of bandits who attempt to steal Boxo's items. Boxo, however, our overpowered vending machine protagonist, utilizes his capabilities, taking photographs of the intruders, employing mist, ice, and eerie music to drive them away. The orphanage director, a former hunter whose strength surpasses even that of Kiriel, later deals with the bandits. The Menagerie of Fools requests Boxo to join them on an expedition to Dead's Lament, a stratum populated by undead beings. This scared Lammis, as the creepy guild secretary, shares a description of the stratum's undead. They seem to envy the living, and often peer into windows. Nevertheless, they pose no harm as long as the living remain indoors at night. To help Lammis overcome her fear, Lammis suggests that she go shopping alone, but Lammis clings to Boxo, feeling terrified. I've never heard of an adventurer who's deadly afraid to go shopping alone. Meanwhile, Kiriel devises a plan to hunt down the Stratum Lord, known as the King of Souls. As night descends, Boxo encounters an undead child who appears to be signaling a request for a drink. Intrigued by the sign of intelligence in the undead, Boxo dispenses a bottle. He's astonished when the child attempts to drink from it. This repeats for several nights in a row. However, during one night, the Menagerie of Fools camps outside the village, and the same undead child follows them, seeking Boxo's assistance. Tragically, Boxo fails to save the child, realizing that the boy had been carrying a copper coin, likely in an attempt to purchase something. Kiriel reveals that the King of Souls is a magic user, meaning that their strategy to defeat it will heavily rely on Boxo's impenetrable barrier. The party locates the King of Souls, an intelligent skeleton who possesses magical abilities. Lammis, utilizing her incredible strength, avoids the king's spells, and eventually uses Boxo as a tool to crush the king. However, the King of Souls was merely a fragment of an even more powerful undead, being known as the Nether Lord. Lammis and Shui shields Lammis but are fatally injured in the process. Witnessing this, Lammis is overtaken by rage until Boxo calms her down, allowing her to regain control. Lammis makes the choice to trust in her abilities and puts Boxo down. With all her might, she confronts the Netherlord and successfully destroys the Netherlord's staff. Impressed by Lammis' resilience, the Netherlord decides to retreat. Boxo becomes an emergency defibrillator by acquiring the telekinesis skill. He uses said newfound skill to operate the defibrillator and successfully revives Lammis and Shui. Upon their return home, the party informs Director Bear of the Netherlord's existence, who turns out to be one of the generals serving the Demon Lord. Director Bear initiates contact with the directors of each strata, setting the plan in motion to assemble an army of highly skilled adventurers to combat this enemy. Kiriel considers abandoning his goal to ensure the party's safety, but the group persuades him to continue their journey. Lammis takes Boxo to the place where she found him and expresses her gratitude for everything he's done. Lammis and Shui secretly follow her and offer their thanks by kissing his screen. They subsequently encourage Lammis to do the same, much to her embarrassment. Ultimately, Boxo reflects that life as a vending machine is not so terrible. And that is the end of the video. As always, if you liked what you saw, subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading a lot of videos just like this, so I'll see you at the next one.